Hi, I'm Doug Horchak, and this is Verse by Verse, a short podcast all about exploring the insights and lessons of the inspired Word of God. Today we're going to take a look at a verse in the book of John that shows Jesus Christ performing a menial task with his disciples, something most people have never done, and that was washing the dirt and grime off another person's feet. Let's read the verse I'm referring to. John chapter 13, verse 14. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. So when did this happen, and why was Jesus performing this act of service to his disciples? Well, it was on the night of the first New Testament Passover, and Jesus was introducing the new symbols of the Passover, the consuming of a small amount of bread and wine that symbolized his broken body and spilled blood, a sacrifice that Christ willingly gave for the sins of all of mankind. However, as we read in John chapter 13, Jesus also performed an act that actually shocked his 12 disciples. The scriptures tell us that he got down on his knees, took a clean towel and a basin of water, and washed the feet of his disciples, each and every one of them. That was almost 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, at a time when everyone wore sandals and walked on dirt roads. Their feet were dirty, and in our view, probably filthy. In fact, in some households, this was the responsibility and duty of the hired help, to wash the guests' feet when they entered the home. Yet here was the Son of God sharing this important act and lesson with his disciples and telling them that they needed to wash one another's feet. Personally, I'm reminded when I was a very small boy when visiting my grandmother's home. We enjoyed being at Grandma's, and she lived in the country and had chickens, dogs, and other animals. We'd run through the woods and up and down the dirt and cinder roads of this small coal mining town in western Pennsylvania. And at the end of the day, my brothers and I were dirty. The coal dust from the roads and dirt from the paths that we ran on dusted our entire body, and we needed a bath. But at Grandma's, there was no shower. There was no hot running water in a bathtub. She heated water in a large kettle, then poured it into the steel wash tub and would put soap in the water. She would ask us to wash ourselves, but she would get a washcloth and wash our necks, our ears, and other places we simply couldn't see or didn't bother to wash. But Grandma didn't mind. She wanted us to go to bed clean, and she pretty much got filthy herself helping us get clean before going to bed. She loved us boys and was willing to get dirty and wet to serve and help her grandsons. On this first Passover that Jesus kept with his disciples, in addition to the vital symbols and meaning of the bread and wine, he instituted a deeper meaning of the evening itself. He set an example for his disciples and for the church, that he loved us and wanted to serve us. He showed that our attitude and view of others is extremely important to our Christian life and journey. Esteeming others better than ourselves was the way Jesus Christ lived, and it is to be the very mindset we aspire to as Christians in our lives, understanding the mind of Christ, of caring for and serving others, even when it's not convenient. It's the bedrock of godly leadership, that of being a servant to others. This approach to leadership was counterintuitive in the culture of the first century, and sacrifice and serving of others can also be alien to the thinking of people today. But we learn in this example that of having a foot-washing attitude is central to the life of a Christian.
Verse by Verse is a companion podcast to the Daily Bible Verse blog, which you can find on the Life, Hope, and Truth Learning Center. Check out the show notes for more.